When he laid down, he said, okay, I'm going to die. So what dies? The body dies. Am I the body? So he questioned that with an intensity, a one-pointed intensity, to understand what dies when the body dies.
Namaskar. I'm sure we as well, what will be my name? Shakespeare asked, what lies in a name? A rose is a rose is a rose. You call it by any name. In the spiritual journey, it is the name that sustains us. Dennis Hartel, now it is a name. He found that name in his life as Raman Maharishi. I must say, this man, born in USA at the age of 18, heard his calling, and I found him the most sincere lover of Bhagavan Raman Maharishi. Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala Shiva Arunachala.
So what was remarkable, that Bhagavan focused so intensely on that eye, he went to the source of that eye. And what is the source of the eye? The source of the eye is the self. And he merged in there. He had a purpose and a meaning. It wasn't just for his generation or those who surrounded him. It was for people of our generations and generations to come. And that's another remarkable thing. He still gives support, guidance. He gives inspiration. He comes to us in dreams or in visions. He reveals himself inwardly through the teachings. So all this is quite remarkable for all of us, and that's why 123 years later we're gathered here today.
Arunachala, this is Shiva, this is Ramana in the heart.
Dennis helped me plan a trip to Nova Scotia. I flew to Toronto, Dennis picked me, and it was amazing to be in that quiet ashram with so much wilderness around.
प्रार्थयन्तं सुप्रपन्नं शिष्यं मोक्षाधिकारिणम् उपदेक्ष्यन्ति दृष्ट्यापि त्वरया तत्त्वदेशिकाः उपदेक्ष्यन्ति त्वरया कृपया मौनदेशिका.
This is the one who gave me Bhagavan's hair and fingernails.
What is his name?
Well, this is Venkataratnam. He was attendant of Bhagavan.
I see.
He was like Swami Satyananda later.
We walked in thick snow with boots towards hut in the jungle, which was made by Dennis with somebody's help. He dug into frozen water of the lake, brought water in a kettle, made tea on wood fire. Be it Nova Scotia or Jamaica, Arunachal Ashram, Dennis was up by 3:30 a.m. or 4 a.m. to listen to Vedic chanting.
एक कहानी ये कि जब वो छोटे थे 13 बरस के, उनकी मदर को ऐसा लगता था कि वो आयरिश थी और उनको लगा कि ये प्रीस्ट बन जाए तो अच्छा हो. उनके फादर जर्मन थे और 13-14 साल में वो एक सेमिनरी में गए भी थे. वहाँ पर उन्होंने जिस तरह का वातावरण देखा था, वो उनको लगा कि ये बात कुछ अलग है और वो उनकी जो अंदर की तलाश है वो कुछ और है. फिर कैसे क्या हुआ उस विवरण में न जाते हुए उन्हें लगा कि जिस तरह से हिंदुइज़्म में सत्य की खोज के बारे में जो पद्धति प्रकट होती है वो उनके मन के ज़्यादा करीब है. तो 1971-72 से उनका भारत जाना जो शुरू हुआ, और जो सेल्फ इंक्वायरी की बात भगवान रमन महर्षि जी की टीचिंग्स में जिस तरह थी, उसको उन्होंने अपने जीवन का आधार बना लिया। इतना अध्ययन किया है, इतना कुछ वो भगवान रमन महर्षि जी के बारे में जानते हैं। उन्होंने ऐसे कई लोगों के साथ इंटरव्यू किए जो भगवान रमन महर्षि जी के समय में थे, उस काल में थे।
What he did, how talented, inquisitive, compassionate, kind, ever cheerful, affectionate, friendly, helping, and encouraging friend Dennis has been to innumerable devotees is difficult to put in words.
Well, we had a big blizzard here, and the snow was blowing horizontally, and snow blew in here. But
Oh,
this is where we keep firewood.
I see.
The snow blew in here like that.
He is good at gardening, loves plants, loves birds, loves nature, knows a lot about many things, including details of the life of Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi on the path that he walked about Arunachal Ashram for almost 50 years. He led a pious, disciplined, dedicated, devotional life without making any bones about it, just unassuming, natural self. He built a family of Ramana devotees, supported and sustained their flow of devotion with, difficult to put in words again, in such an unassuming and silent manner as would please Bhagwan Raman Maharshi.
You see these birds, these little birds? You can train them to feed from your hand. They're chickadees, you see them?
Mm-hmm.
They're here all year round, but
How did you train them?
well, you put the food that you feed them every day, and then instead of putting the food on the platform, you just put it on your hand. Then they come to your hand eventually and take it. Then they get used to you. As soon as you come out, they come around you looking for the food.
कल रात को जब मैं डेनिस के साथ यहाँ पहुँचा था, एयरपोर्ट से तो अलग गाड़ी थी, फिर इस वैन में आए थे। रास्ता कुछ नहीं दिखता था और मुझे नहीं मालूम था उस वक्त कि यहाँ इतनी बर्फ़ जमी हुई है, नहीं मालूम था कि चारों तरफ पहाड़ी है। तो जब अंदर इस 1987 में प्रविष्ट हुए थे, तो यहाँ पे ये फायर प्लेस जो था ये प्रज्वलित था और यहाँ से लकड़ियाँ लेके इसमें डाल के वो पहले से जला कर गए थे ताकि वो गर्म रहे। भगवान रमन महर्षि जी, उनकी देह 1950 में शांत होने के बाद भी कितने लोगों को प्रेरणा दे रहा है। और भारत से इतना दूर न्यूयॉर्क और कनाडा, नोवा स्कोशिया जहाँ पर मैं अभी हूँ, वहाँ पर भी अरुणाचल पहुँचे हुए हैं और न केवल तस्वीरें हैं उनकी, पुस्तकें भी हैं, शब्दातीत बात है, टॉक्स विद रमन महर्षि और अन्य जो साहित्य है। उसके साथ साथ यहाँ पे डेनिस के पास कुछ ऐसे पदार्थ हैं जिनका स्वयं भगवान ने उपयोग किया। जैसे उनके एक सेवक ने डेनिस को जो नाखून या बाल दिए थे, वो भी श्राइन में उनको पूरे सम्मान के साथ में रखा गया है।
Quick brush of few glimpses from my memory about Dennis Hartel, president of Arunachal Ashram, Jamaica. Sitting at the dining hall of Arunachal Ashram with Dennis and listening about the mockingbirds details from him. Dennis reading part of a book where Bhagwan approved of Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya mantra to a little girl. Going to the ashram, finding Dennis in the basement office in front of his computer and giving me undivided, complete attention with agile mind and amazing resourcefulness.
Bhagavan gave the difference between, what is the difference between a shishya and a bhakta? Someone had asked him that once. And he said, a devotee is the one who looks upon the Guru or the deity as God and worships him. A Shishya also does the same, but he looks upon the Guru as God, follows his teachings, and intently tries to practice those teachings and realize the truth of them. So I consider we all are Shishyas, or should be Shishyas, and devotees of Bhagavan.
कितनी सहजता से वो सबको अपना लेते हैं, उसका एक परिचय ये भी है कि वो जिस जगह रहते हैं सामान्यतः वहाँ पे वो कोई ताला वाला नहीं लगाते हैं। आज के युग में ऐसा व्यक्ति जो अपनी गाड़ी में भी ताला नहीं लगा रहा हो और उसमें वॉलेट भी छोड़ देता हो, उसके बारे में आपको बता के मैं उनकी सुरक्षा के बारे में चिंता कर रहा हूँ। नहीं, आपकी नीयत पर शक नहीं है।
अरुणाचला ओम अरुणाचला अरुगुरुवान ज्योति अरुणाचला अखंड चित शक्ति आवाय अरुणाचला।
हाँ, तो मैं डेनिस की बात बता रहा था। वो बहुत कम सोते हैं, यानी सुबह 3:30 बजे उठ जाते हैं और कुछ नियम हैं जैसे कि अरुणाचल आश्रम तिरुवन्नामलई में होता होगा उसी प्रकार से यहाँ भी वो सुबह संभवतः 3:30 बजे से कुछ क्रम हो जाता है शुरू। 4:30 से 5:30 तक का है वेद पारायण चलता है। स्कोशिया में अरुणाचल आश्रम के कॉटेज में मैं रुका हुआ हूँ। इट इज़ इन प्योर विल्डरनेस, यानी यहाँ से दूर दूर तक कोई दिखाई न दे और कोई रहता भी नहीं है। ये प्रॉपर्टी 100 एकर्स की है। उसमें सड़क के उस पार जो है वो मंदिर है, वहाँ पर डेनिस हार्टेल के साथ अभी मैंने शाम के 5 बजे से लगभग 8 बजे तक श्री चक्र पूजा से संबंधित मंत्र श्लोक माँ के और दुर्गा सप्तशती में से और एक ख़ास तरह से जो श्री सूक्त है वो उच्चारित जिस तरह से कभी हुआ होगा पंडितों के द्वारा तिरुवन्नामलई के अरुणाचल आश्रम में, जिसको डेनिस ने में भी 30 साल पहले रिकॉर्ड किया होगा, तो उसको वो हर शुक्रवार की शाम को चलाते हैं, सुनते हैं। और तो 3 घंटे का तो वो 5 से मुझे ठीक पता भी नहीं था कि ये कितने बजे शुरू करेंगे, पर इस कॉटेज से वहाँ तक चलने के लिए बहुत सारी बर्फ़ तय करके आज की तारीख में ख़ास करके जाना था। हाँ, तो संयोग से मैं बिना ये जाने कि वो 5 बजे शुरू करेंगे, ठीक 5 बजे 5 में 5 कम पे वहाँ पहुँच गया था। इनके जीवन में भी ऐसा हुआ कि जब ये 14-15 साल के थे तो इनको आउट ऑफ बॉडी एक्सपीरियंस हुआ था, यानी कि देह पड़ी है और वो देह से बाहर देह को देख रहे हैं। ऐसा ही कुछ अनुभव भगवान रमण महर्षि जी का भी हम पढ़ते हैं उसके बारे में। पर बहरहाल इनका ऐसा कहना है कि उनका तो वो सस्टेन हुआ, इनका नहीं हुआ, ईदर वे। तो इनकी जो निष्ठा है भगवान रमण महर्षि जी के प्रति, वो यहाँ के चप्पे चप्पे के साथ साथ उनकी दिनचर्या में जैसे दिखती है, वो श्रद्धा निष्ठा को बढ़ाने वाली है, विस्मय कारक भी है। और भारत की जो आध्यात्मिक धरोहर के संचरण का एक अनूठा और विलक्षण ढंग है, उसका भी उससे एक प्रमाण इनके द्वारा भी आपको मुझे मिला।
In the heart, Arunachala, This is Shiva, this is Shankara in the heart.
I found Arunachal Ashram, Jamaica as an oasis of peace in the humdrum of New York. I participated in few events over the last decade and a half. Dennis obliged me by working with me for short documentary Invoking Infinite, Arunachal Ashram. He is or was, as I say was because we may or may not see him again. He decided to move to the other side of his sadhana, which we would say we have heard about when we heard a reference of Himalayan sages. They are somewhere in the cave. They may come and mingle with us. They may not come to be with us physically. You'll understand what I'm saying after you hear the content of the last letter written by Dennis Hartel to few friends. But before that,
Shiva Guru Nata Shri Ramana Guru Ramana Guru Ramana Guru Ramana Guru Ramana Namo Ramana Namo Ramana Namo Ramana Namo Ramana Nata Janagati Pradhanamo जनगति प्रदनमो रमणा।
सुबह जब मैं 6:20-30 पर वहाँ पहुँचा था तो श्री ललिता सहस्त्र नाम का पाठ चल रहा था, यानी सीडी चलती है और वो बैठे थे ध्यान में अपने, और कोई नहीं था। मैं बैठा वहाँ पे और उसका श्रवण किया। उसके श्रवण करते करते कितना समय हो गया होगा, शायद 7:30-8। उसके बाद में वो काफ़ी उसमें ही थे, अपने ध्यानस्थ ही थे, स्टिलनेस में थे ऐसे। तो इस कॉटेज से आगे यानी पीछे की तरफ पहाड़ियाँ हैं जो कि सुबह ही थोड़ी बहुत दिखाई दी थी, बाकी मौसम ऐसा था अभी भी जैसे जल्दी अंधेरा हो गया तो दिखता नहीं है। अब यहाँ से जो वो आगे की तरफ उन्होंने कहा चलोगे बर्फ़ में, हाँ भाई, तो मैंने वो बूट पहने, उन्होंने पहनाए और मतलब दिए। मैंने अपना वीडियो कैमरा यानी कि फ़ोन भी ले लिया था।
He wrote, I would say, tens of thousands of pages. They're like prayer manuscripts to him. He would sit quietly and then he would start typing. It's like that coffee percolator there. So the heat or the pressure becomes so much, of that inner, you can say, power or shakti or experience. He wants to express it. So it comes out. Wherever I may be placed and whatever work I may be made to do for the Lord Ramana Arunachala, my life is always soaked and saturated with the only prayer that all of his sons and daughters may be blessed and graced with a single assignment for ringing and resounding his name all over the world and leave nothing undone in our life.
he is the most free person I have seen. No expectations, complete absorption of the teachings of Bhagwan, who am I, by constant contemplation. I saw him doing various chores at ashram, sometimes vacuuming the carpet, chopping the woods, putting books in order, mailing Bhagwan's photos or books, planting trees, feeding birds, going to buy some stuff on bicycle, working on a newsletter, talking to devotees in person as well as responding on phone, planning trips to be with different groups of Ramana devotees, sitting in silence, helping me find books that would satisfy my desire to know, suggesting and gifting me many, many books now and then, be it self-realization, stories of Kunju Swami, uniqueness of Bhagwan, and many more.
I couldn't control my tears. It felt like I had actually arrived at my father's home. And it was not the first time that I was coming there, and through many lifetimes that I had been there. And this was a chance to go back home.
He introduced me to many Ramana devotees, sometimes in their presence. He was a very special glue that would connect you to the most glorious aspect of your being. I missed many opportunities of being with him, it feels I should have spent more time. Maybe I still have the chance. Maybe. The last letter of Dennis has practical and powerful current of eternal inspiration. He showed what Bhagwan Ramana has taught by living.
भगवन रमण करुणा सागर कर दो दरस का सवेरा।
ऐसा लगा कि मैं कहाँ आ गया हूँ एकदम। इसके साथ साथ ये भी है कि प्राकृतिक सौंदर्य के अलावा उनकी जो निष्ठा वैदिक उच्चारण के द्वारा मन को शांत करने की विधि को पिछले 30-40 वर्षों से जिस तरह से उन्होंने अपनाया है, तो उसके बाद में उन्होंने हम लोग थोड़ी बहुत चर्चा कर रहे थे और हाँ, तो उन्होंने वो एक छोटा सा गैस जैसा था, बहुत छोटा वाला, पतीली भी रखी हुई थी। उन्होंने कहा चाय तो है, दूध नहीं यहाँ पे। और जो उन्होंने पानी के लिए एक वहाँ पे रखा हुआ था बड़ी वाली जो शीशी, वो जम गया था पानी उसमें। तो उधर से वो उतर के गए और सामने जो झरना सा बह रहा था वहाँ से पानी ले गए। मैंने कहा साफ़ सुथरा होगा, कहते गर्म कर लेंगे तो ठीक है। गर्म हो गया था, चाय पी बिना दूध की, लेकिन बहुत ही तगड़ी थी।
With lots and lots of gratefulness, love and invocation of that silence which helps us merge with the beauty of oneness. Here I read the letter that has a story of a life that is rare, very, very rare and glorious. Visible yet invisible, simple yet mystical, attached yet detached. Here is the saga of God's greatness, woven in such effortless manner as is dewdrop, as is blossoming of a flower, as is the dance of waves, as is the flight of the group of birds, as is the smile that reflects the majesty of the Absolute. Well, over to the letter. And here I quote Dennis Hartel. This letter gives some glimpse of Dennis' life also, and here I begin. My dear friends in Bhagavan, at the age of 18, I decided that I had to find out what the meaning and purpose of life was. I saw no solution in my home, so I wrote a note to my mother, borrowed $20 and left. The journey lasted for about 4 years, during which time I traveled the world over and had many experiences which brought me to the conclusion that the only meaningful purpose and goal of life was to realize God or self-realization. My latent sanskaras must have played a part to rediscover the teachings that directly resonated with my own experience and understanding. Then I was guided to the Sadguru, who perfectly demonstrated them, Bhagwan Ramana Maharishi. The same year I arrived at his ashram in New York and dedicated my life to service and the practices of his teachings. Last summer in the Nova Scotia ashram, a sudden, altogether contrary vision took possession of me and would not let go, even to this day. I couldn't resist it, nor did I feel that I should, and ultimately surrendered to it. That is what it is. After 48 years of living in his abode, serving him through his devotees, I became possessed, so to speak, with a single aspiration. I felt Bhagwan telling me, now you need only to serve me by remembering me and abiding in me, the self. Hence, you need not continue to serve me physically, but serve me by remembering me and abiding in me. In addition to this, I experienced an intense yearning to simplify my life, to depend on Him alone for all things, to take complete refuge in Him and leave it to Him to provide me with whatever is required to fulfill this aspiration, as enunciated by Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. To those who always think of me and engage in exclusive devotion to me, to them whose minds are always absorbed in me, I provide what they lack and preserve what they already possess. Chapter 9, verse 22. Therefore, I am writing today not only to you, the officers of Arunachal Ashram, USA and Canada, but to all my friends and well-wishers to inform you that what happened when I was 18 years old is now repeating itself. By the time you read this note, I have already left the ashram for a distant place to fulfill this yearning within me. Believe me, I am no less surprised than you about what you are now reading. After this new aspiration took hold of me in Nova Scotia and I realized that I must fulfill it, I thought briefly about what direction the ashram would take in my absence. The next day, this concern was completely erased upon reading what Sri Kunju Swami told Evelyn concerning Bhagwan's ashramas on January 19, 1983, recorded in her diary. Not only did I have no doubts after reading that, I fully believe, though physically absent, I will now extend a greater service to the ashram than ever before. You may not understand this, but I believe in time you will arrive at the same conclusion. I ask that you please do not make any efforts to locate my whereabouts. I have put all my faith in Bhagwan's guiding presence, and all of you should do the same and celebrate with me this new direction in my life. Doesn't the Lord of the universe sustain the trees of the forest, the birds in the sky, the fish in the sea? Will He ever forsake me? How is it possible? And how wonderful it is to want nothing from the world but the opportunity to abandon all hopes, all fears, and all desires and rest in Him. Also, do not be too alarmed at this turn of events. Who knows? I may be back in 2 months or 2 years, or at some point in time, you will come to learn that my journey on earth has come to end. It is in His hands alone, is it not? Isn't it the same for all of us? Lastly, I wish to express my heartfelt gratitude to all my friends and well-wishers, devotees of the Master who have unstintingly provided me with their love, support and kindness over many decades. How fortunate I have been in this life to know all of you, to live and serve in His abode and benefit from your sincere devotion and dedication. I am attaching a letter that I gave to 2 aspirants this year who expressed a desire to live in the ashram. It may be useful. Ever yours in Sri Ramana Bhagavan, Dennis. Last letter so far from Dennis Hartle, who served in various ways, also as president of Arunachal Ashram, Jamaica, New York. So there was a letter from Dennis. When I read it for the first time, I couldn't stop sobbing. I couldn't stop my tears even in the second read. But this time, after 3-4 times, I'm kind of comfortable and the acceptance of the reality is sinking in gradually. And I realized that what Dennis, with this last stroke of decision by the grace of Bhagwan, has unfolded for us has a lot of power. Power to help us clearly perceive our path. And it also, out of realization of Dennis, offers us a kind of unique courage to see it as it is and follow in our own way with more sincerity, more contemplation on the teachings of Bhagavan, holding on to the thread of who am I, moving towards limitlessness. Thank you.